Hey, it's Mickey Mikeworth from Mikeworth Consulting, and today I wrote a couple of notes for you because I want to talk about what we solved today. So I'm a business advisor, I'm a math geek, I'm also the top woman in finance twice, and I solve a lot of things. That's actually why most people hang out with me, is because I solve stuff. And yesterday I got a call from a small business, and they are a brick and mortar store, and that they were like, yeah, I'm out of good ideas. I just don't even know what to do right now. And their bank account keeps going to zero, but then they make it back in 3 days, and then it goes back to zero again, and then they make it back in a few days. But this wibble wobble in that brick and mortar, they're like, what is happening? And that's why you have a business advisor, to go look here and here, because it's not where you think it is. And so one of the things that you have to look at is, what is the problem? How does it get there, right? What is the problem? The problem is that business is running out of money. And it's running out of money on what day, right? So one of the things was to find out, what is the flow of money? Are you running out of money because Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays are always slow, so you don't have enough cash flow on those days? You're running because you don't have enough customers. Are you running low because you have too much stock, that you're not rolling through the product that's fast enough? And that was the ending case in this case, is that if you have a brick and mortar store, everything in your store is money. It's you see it in a physical product, but you're not only saying, this is my money on every shelf, but this is my money that has to turn before I get my money back. It's not just before I get a profit. I need to take that money that I put on that shelf and get my money back. Plus, for doing that service to the world, then I'm going to make a profit. So whatever is coming in the back door has to be walking out the front door as quickly as possible. So many times I am looking at stock that I know is going to walk out that door as quickly as possible. When you have a new business owner, they are attached to full shelves that are beautiful and they're lovely and so forth, and they have no plan as to how to move that stuff. And you have to move it. You want it out quickly. So all of your media, all of the things that you're doing are there so you can get your money back. You have to get your money back. So if you are buying something for that brick and mortar, you have to know that the only reason that gets a shelf space is because that's a resource. This is a capital exchange. Don't put something on that shelf that you don't know is going to walk out. So a lot of times something new will walk out the shelf because it's new, but that doesn't mean that it's a stable resource. So in this brick and mortar store, they've tried some new things and it'll work for a while, and then they see diminishing returns. Here's the great news. They're smart enough to go, we'll stop there. That if we keep bringing something new in, it will keep our customers that we have interested and engaged. If you have a brick and mortar store, you want to understand that if you've had someone walk into that store and they're willing to come back in, that's the gift. That's the gift. So it's inviting them to come back to the store, giving them opportunities, giving them a reason to come back in. And so if you were a clothing store, you're going to put on a sale for just this one item, not everything in the store, maybe once a year. But you're going to say, hey, handbags are on sale, and here's all the cute handbags. If it is, you're going to take one category and you're going to say, this is the category we're going to focus in on. We're going to put a big stand together. We're going to have a preview. We're going to do all these other things, right? If you were a grocery store, you're going to say, let's look at new vendors. Let's look at new product. Let's look at takeaways. What is it that we can do that'll be interesting to our customers, that they go, oh yeah, because that customer is your partner. They want they want to play with you. And what I mean by that is not physically play with you, is they want to play with you with your resources. That what you're bringing is what they want. That you become a resource. Your brick and mortar store is a form of capital to them, to where they live, and to the goals that they want. So you don't want to use up all your reserves and be at zero. You want to put enough front that you know you can move. So when you start looking around your shelves of your store as a business owner, you want to look at what's the fastest way somebody can walk out of here, and having these assets ready to go. So they have to be priced. They have to be on the floor. They have to be in the system, right? There's a readiness to that conversation. So you want the availability of all of that stock, everything that's in that brick and mortar. You want that availability to be right there, right there. So if you are running out of money and your brick and mortar isn't selling enough, you want to look at the product that's there, do a timeline of how long product has been sitting on that shelf, because that it's got to get moved. That's why things go on clearance, right? The shelf is worth more than the product on it. So that's why we put stuff on clearance. That's why we put a sale on something, is because we want our money back. We want our investment back. We need that resource so we can make a new investment. And if that investment just gets me my money back and doesn't get me a profit, I can do that a couple of swings. I can't do that every time. So you have to get better at picking product. You have to have the harmony of all of the parts of business. So when you're thinking about what is on your shelves, if there's stuff that's hanging around there, the shelf is worth more than the objects on it. So that shelf is there to say, here's the holding spot so it can move. Here's the holding spot so it can move. If those shelves are not doing that exercise, then it's time to put in more creativity and more application of strategy and tactics. So sometimes, so I'll give you an example from the grocery store, because we've all seen it, right? Right at the end, when you go to check out, there's a whole bunch of little things that I can get my fingers into and grab at. I can grab gum, I can grab a magazine, right? All these little things that are right there. I can touch them and they're perfect for me. They fit right in my hand. And everybody loves to look at that section. In places that have a long line that are in brick and mortar, you see that they make the line longer. There's my tongue twister of the day. They make the line longer and they row it so that you go into this little cubicle-like line, and then they fill it with more shopping. And so some stores like TJ Maxx and stores that are, you know, that they're going to always have a long line in, they have crafted a walkthrough area that allows you to pick up more small items. So they sometimes have an entire length of the store that's just the last minute wall. So again, when you're thinking about what you need to do as a brick and mortar, it is to look at what is the problem. You have to do the diligence on that. And what is the problem? The problem is your capital isn't working the way you want it to. And it's not working at the speed, it's not working at something else. So in the particular case of that we were solving the other day, it was a lot of things put together. So it was the pain for the business is the availability of the resource of cash wasn't available because it's sitting in a different form on all their shelves. The cash that they needed for that day is times 1,000 on their shelves, but they can't access that resource because it's sitting still. All money likes to move. All wealth likes to move. It needs to be alive. If you have a lot of stuff sitting on your shelf in the store, that's a problem. And that means that you're not really looking at what is the purpose of that investment. The purpose of that investment is so that it leaves, that you get your money back. You're not buying anything that you don't know somebody's going to walk out with quickly. So that's looking at how fast does your product need to turn. If you are looking around that store and you have product that's been there for more than 120 days, more than an entire quarter, you may want to look at the resource. It might not be the right one for you. So when you are problem solving, this is why you have a financial advisor. This is why you have a business advisor, because that's all we do is we look at problems to solve, and then we figure out why they're a problem, and then we build strategies that directly solve that problem or that directly interfere, interact, intersect, interplay. Because ways and means is a big deal. That's the only way a business stays afloat, is that it focuses on its ways and its means, right? What are the ways that we are interacting, and what are the means that we have to be able to do that? So in the problem that we were solving the other day, yesterday, was just really looking at, is there a product that we can put into that store, into that brick and mortar, that will bring something that was new to not just the store, but to the area. So not just looking at your little store, but going, what isn't here? What's missing from your town? And then focusing on fulfilling that need. Because again, most of the things that we are doing in the store is to fulfill some sort of need. And for those of you who are selling in brick and mortar things that are fun, then sell the need for fun. Because that's really what you want, right? You want to be enjoying your business, and you want to get your money back, but you want to get your investment to grow. And that means that the shelf is worth more. The fact that you have the shelf, that's why brick and mortar is a big deal, because that shelf is going to empty out. Shelf, empty out. Shelf, empty out. You want as many turns as you can have on one shelf. So remember today, one, look at why things aren't going well. Measure, identify, build some tactics, and then craft a plan. And it is, I haven't found one yet that doesn't have room for improvement. So that's today. That's what we're doing here at Mike Worth Consulting today. This week, we're looking at lots of numbers. And if you are someone that needs me to look at your numbers, give me a call.